She told my husband on the ride to the airport that he shouldn't bother calling her and that she never wants to talk to him or me ever again because I had him under my control and he was disrespecting her for me. She's referring to him, calmly explaining that things during this trip were difficult because of all the things going on. Hello there, Reddita here. If you enjoy the video, please be a mensch and give the video a like, maybe even subscribe. I'm a small channel and it helps a lot more than you think. Alright, video time, enjoy. r/Justnomil mother-in-law. Mother-in-law that swore she wanted nothing to do with me, and husband now trying to come back. Hi everyone, I'm new to Reddit, so forgive me if I get confused on how to work with things on here. I have a rant about my mother-in-law and I would appreciate some advice. My husband and I have been married for 4 years, and in 2020 we welcomed our first baby. My mother-in-law has been visiting from overseas every 6 months since the beginning of our marriage. Usually she stays with my husband and I for 1 to 2 months at a time, but due to COVID and the airports being shut, doing her visit was prolonged to 6 months. The reason she comes every 6 months is to keep her traveling visa active. I guess those are the rules. Anyway, every visit is somewhat normal, but she seems to be emotionally detached, seemingly only from me. For example, I've suffered through 2 miscarriages and some minor reproductive problems, and both were during the time she was visiting. No, I don't think she had anything to do with them, lol. But the reason I mention that is because she didn't seem to acknowledge or even offer comfort or any kind words, and would just watch me cry and be sad, only to tell my husband behind my back that oh, it happens to every woman, it's even happened to me. I just ignored it and kept reminding myself that everyone processes emotions differently, until my husband got a cold for 3 days and she cried every day for 3 days. I love my husband, but I'm sure like any man he turns into a giant baby when he catches a cold. Anyway, out of respect for my husband and being a good wife, I welcome his mom every time she comes, and I foolishly put some aspects of my life on hold to spend time with her and take her out shopping, to lunch or dinner, doctor's appointments, etc. All of the responsibilities fall on me when she visits. During her last visit during COVID, we warned her before she left overseas that maybe this time around it wouldn't be a good idea to come to the US, since we got news that airports are shutting down around the world and that most of our city was shut down already, and that me being pregnant was just a bad situation all around. We explained to her that the travel embassy would understand her situation and not suspend her visa since she wasn't able to visit because of COVID. She took this news/advice as a way that we were trying to not have her come because we didn't want her here. Yes, she pulled that card and she cried to my husband and convinced him to let her change her flight to come earlier, which was the last flight before they shut everything down in the USA and overseas. Before she arrived to the US, things were already ugly. She had it in her head that I was the one behind not wanting her to come visit. Yes, me. Sarcasm. Not because there was a global pandemic. Not because entire countries were shutting down, including the one she's coming from. Not because tens of thousands of people are get sick and dying. It was me. Anyway, from the day she arrived till the day she left, she interpreted everything I said or did as me intentionally trying to get under her skin, or as me being sneaky and conniving, trying to turn my husband against her and keep him all to myself. Despite the fact that on his only days off of work I would suggest to him to spend time alone with his mom. In her mind, anytime I took naps because I was tired and pregnant, I was doing it to avoid her and leave her to sit alone. Anytime I had a doctor's appointment, I was lying and running away to see my mom so I can talk about her behind her back. She questioned my husband about everything I did. When my college was shut down and moved to remote online classes, she questioned why I was on the computer most of the day and why I had so much homework, or why I had to study so much. She would say, back in my days we didn't do all this computer stuff and we didn't have to study this much, we did things a better way. Disclaimer, I'm in no way shaming people for not continuing education. Both my parents have high school degrees and are intelligent people as are others who haven't been given the opportunity to finish schooling. I'm extremely lucky to be able to finish schooling. Okay, I had to put a quick disclaimer so I can finish that part of the rant. My mother-in-law dropped out of school in middle school, but she constantly badgered and questioned me in disbelief about why my college homework, tests, papers, etc. were taking up so much time. On one occasion I caught her peeping through my bedroom doors while I was on the phone getting dressed to go to a doctor's appointment, and when I asked her if she needed anything she replied by saying no. I was playing with the cat, mind you. She despises my cat and any pets and constantly tells me to get rid of the cat because it's not good for the baby, and she was standing right by my door and my cat was in the living room laying on the floor. I have caught her spying on me in other situations as well, and when I told my husband and he asked her about it, she always had some silly excuse, and that I was understanding everything wrong. She never said anything about my pregnancy, unless it was to give me some unsolicited advice about some cultural things that are basically myths debunked by modern science. When the baby's gender was revealed at 5 months, a baby girl, she kept insisting that technology was wrong and that I could very well be a boy, and when I mentioned names I wanted to name my baby, she would give me names that were nicer and more suitable. All in all, my pregnancy was stressful enough with the pandemic and other things, and she just added more fuel to the fire. There is a lot more I would like to mention, but adding 6 months of this nonsense would be way too long of a post. Fast forward to the end of her trip, when she finally was able to get a ticket to go back overseas. She was mad at me and my husband and my mom for some reason. She told my husband on the ride to the airport that he shouldn't bother calling her and that she never wants to talk to him or me ever again because I had him under my control and he was disrespecting her for me. She's referring to him, calmly explaining that things during this trip were difficult because of all the things going on. When she returned home, she didn't waste a second before telling friends from our city and overseas, neighbors, and family members how horrible we were to her and how I was the one behind it all. Soon the news was spread, and people I didn't even know were wanting to call and talk to me about what was going on. I barely know anybody in the city I live in, let alone talk to strangers from overseas. She refused to talk to him. She ignored every phone call, video chat, and text, and even went as far as not letting my father-in-law use the iPad to call us, and erased our phone numbers from his old school cell. He's elderly and doesn't know how to operate technology. She video chatted us once to see the baby in the hospital, but didn't say a word to me on the call. She hasn't talked to either of us for over 4 months, but still talks about us. Until today, I wasn't home. Coincidence? She answered a video chat call my husband was making in order to talk to my father-in-law because my father-in-law desperately wanted to see his only grandchild. He even talked to her, and she again gave him unsolicited advice in what to do with our daughter, the granddaughter she refused to see. All let my father-in-law see for 4 months. And guess what? Her 6 months are almost up for her visa, and I freaking knew she was gonna pull that crap. I told my husband before, if she is gonna come back for a visit, that my daughter and I weren't going to be there for it. I told him I was gonna stay with my parents until she leaves. What the heck? Now my husband is upset and wants us to fix things, but I'm tired of being obligated to respect everyone, placing myself last, and there is no way in hell I'll let me daughter live in that environment, even if she's too young to understand. If anyone wants more backstory or updates, let me know. There's so much crap I don't even know what to write or where to begin. Need some advice and comfort.
That's a 10.
Whoa, you made it to the end? Nice. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm a new channel, and it helps a lot more than you think. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.